We're filling up the bucket so we can test the motor. It's actually my kitchen bin, so good job the family are away for the weekend. That won't take too long to fill. I think as long as it's filled above this fin here, we're okay. The exhaust and the inlet I think are below there somewhere. They're definitely not up here, so we'll just get it to that level and we'll try and get it started. We've got 5 litres of fresh E5 grade fuel, so it's the better stuff than the E10, which is the nasty new stuff. You've got to make sure the fuel goes that way, so that comes out of the fuel tank like that. There we go, clicked in there. This goes into this little piece here like this. Oh, you could hear, oh, wrong way, wrong one, that way. Whoop. Oh, you can see the fuel coming out already. That's interesting. And then what you have to do, that's probably because we've got this is a bit pressurised. There we go. Because I didn't want the smell coming in the camper van. And then what we do, we give this a pump. Oh, I can hear it. This is genuinely the first time I've ever done this. We check that the little fuel switch on the side here is in the right place. So this is normally in the place where it's for off, which switches this off. You can hear air. So that's definitely forced fuel through. Now, here we go. We make sure we're in neutral. There we go. We'll make sure we're in start. Cables connected. A little bit of choke. Oh, also make sure, well, actually, this fuel tank we're not using, so don't need to make sure of that. I've unscrewed the vent on the tank down here. Let's give it a go. There we go. Had too much choke. See the water's coming out here. Likes to move that way, doesn't it? Let's tighten that up. That's brilliant. That's worked brilliantly. That's in forward gear. Reverse. Going to check what's coming out of this here. We'll get that in there. That in there. You can see we've got 7 volts, but if we just turn the engine up a little bit, you can see it goes up to 12. This is my selfie stick that comes with the DJI action cams, and you know what? If there's one thing I've struggled with the DJI action cam, it's this stick. Not because it's brilliant length and brilliant action as well, and it has taken a lot of abuse. It's been dropped in water, etc. But what happens is the little bottom comes out all too frequently. I've fixed it a number of times. Super glue the first time. The second time I use this Gorilla Glue, And it worked really well for a time, and then now it's just failed, and it seems to have just unstuck from the metal in here. So you can see this is the base I use. I love this base because it's got extending feet, so when you're on the uneven ground you can bring the feet all out, and it's really good. It's really good as a grab handle. It's got this nice spongy stuff, and then all I need to do is screw a stick into here, and it's even got a dual width screw. Now I think the problem with these eyes, when you screw this in, there's so little plastic there that eventually, with the motion of this, when you've got it fully extended, it's just putting too much pressure on it. So I think what I'm going to do, I've cleaned this enough now to make a solid base. I'm actually going to use some epoxy resin. Let's have a little look. Yeah, I've got a new tube actually, just this Gorilla epoxy. I think it's going to be much better than this. Although I was pleasantly surprised how good this was for a while. But I'm going to use the epoxy. Where did that come from in there? And then we'll see if we can get a better... Yeah, see if that works, basically. We're going to brush the outside of this. I'm going to go function over beauty here. If it goes over the side a little bit, so be it. If it helps it stick, that's the best plan. And what I'm going to do, I'm also going to put a little bit around the inside here. There we go. And then, oh gosh, right, put that down now. I don't know how to pick it up. Let's do it like that. And then let's get it put in. It goes that way. So let's see how that goes. We'll let that set and we'll come back to it later. So here was Gunnel Clip Mark 3, are we calling it, that snapped. Very hollow, but these were quite weak, these points here. So there's that one. Here is Gunnel Clip Mark 4. Now, we've had a bit of a warped print, unfortunately. You can see it's got a bit wonky, this one. So I tried to print this really quick. The reason it's warped is it's much thicker, so there's a lot more plastic. It gets hotter, and you can see it just lifts off the bed there. You can see that. So it has, unfortunately, affected it. Yeah, almost unusable. But there you go. You can see here that this one's going to be hugely... I mean, you can't feel them, but they're massively more solid. We can connect a number of little eyes for them, maybe extend one, and we'll give that an experiment when we're next down to the boat. But there's Gunnel Clip Mark 4. Just need to print it out better now. So I've just got these out the printer, and they are, I think they're 40% filled. So when you 3D print, you don't just print solid bits of plastic. You tend to fill the inside with like a honeycomb filling, otherwise you waste plastic, and the structure of it should mean you keep it light, and also, you know, it keeps its strength. But of course, the way it's printed sometimes means that you get these weak points. So 3D printing is all about knowing which way it's printing, you know, just understanding where the forces will be and how you need to print around that area. So this is finished. This is exactly the same as the previous one, but I bulked it out a bit. I'm going to design and print another one that will go on the back of the boat, that we can maybe, you know, test something else on, and we'll take these down and see how they fare, you know. That's all we got to do, is keep testing. But these are printed beautifully in my Raise 3D printer. So let's get designing and print some more off. So here's Mark 3 of the Jetboil gimbal. And as you can see, we're actually, we thought that having the little block here and having that out here was going to be a little bit flawed. But actually, I've realised that the pot itself is hitting the top part of the gimbal. Now, and then the lid is hitting this part. The tolerances here are a little bit too fine. So what we need to do is just bring this pot a little bit forward in the bracket here. This, by the way, does this bit here. Now, I'm currently putting out an L bracket that will be able to go on a flat surface and up or down, that this will then click into, and we'd have the spinny bit warranted by that, and forward enough with that. So we're nearly there. Now, the other problem we had was the lid. So this, originally, this top bit has a lip in it, and it was designed to fit under the lip of this, but that meant the top wouldn't fit on. So I've actually just put it under the handle here and under the bolts that are here, and now when you tighten it up, it's, I mean, obviously you can move it if you really want to, but that's not going to move without quite a lot of force. And even at worst, it's going to come up this side and not that, because this physically can't. So yeah, we're getting there. We need another few tweaks, and I think we're going to be about there. Right, let's mix this up. So I think there's just a slight gap when you put this plate up against it. So I need to get as much of this as I can on the contact area. There we go. And then I'm going to use this one. So that's going to go up there. So it goes like that. I just want to sort of rest it on there, get it in the right spot. And just let the glue do the magic. That's going to obviously sit underneath again, like this. And then I've actually glued on this square here. It's just set a little bit cockeyed, but I think it'll be okay. So that'll be screwed underneath the thwart. And then this, when you want to use it, will click in. There we go. You can just hold that like that. And that is a much stronger. Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot better. And then hopefully that'll do this and do that. For those of you that are interested, my Seascrew order, or latest Seascrew order, came in. Let's have a look what's in here. 2 carbine hooks, little one and a midi one. These are for tying on. I'm going to make my own tying on strap because I've got loads and loads of webbing. One for the little one for me. But we'll do those at a later date. Loads and loads of screws because I was missing, especially these 1 inch. So we've got loads. These are all size 8, I think. Various types. These are cheese head. All stainless steel 316. I mean, they're all, yeah. Oh, some nylock wash. Oh, they're a bit smaller than I thought I was. I thought they were. These are actually for my Jetboil gimbal because I'm told the nylon washers are more slippy. So if you want something that moves about, the nylon washers are easier to do that. Got some longer bolts, 30mm, which are going to be perfect as well for certain things. A few of these nuts, because I lost quite a few in doing the lockers. Oh, ooh, 8mm bar deckeye. Okay, they're wrong. They are enormous. So, right, there's the 5mm. Okay, so these, I've got these wrong. 5mm deckeye, they're the ones I need. Why did I buy 8mm ones? They're enormous, but you know what? They may replace a few things on the boat though, so I'm sure we'll find them useful. And then I've got a few of these sort of clips for boat hooks, things like that, lined. Just see if I can put them somewhere else on the boat so they're not all taking up all that space in the boat, in the lockers. And then, especially from a first little cruise this week I got an Osculati sailor's knife. So it has a spike. I'm not going to lie, I don't know what that is for, other than maybe is it rope splicing or something. I have no idea. It's got a blade, so this is specifically for cutting rope. It's nice and sharp. And then that is something to do with a shackle, for shackles, or is that the shackle eye? Something that will tighten up shackles, I think. So yeah, I will be asking advice on all of that. It's only a cheap knife, but I needed one that I could just keep on board, so there it is. There we go. We're back at the engine, the outboard. Just going to check the oil, and that's just done here. Let's just untighten this little screw here so it can turn. And all you do is open this. Oh God, that's tight. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's wet, more than enough oil, and the oil is crystal clear. I mean, you'd expect that. So oil's good. Spark plug's going to be fine because it's brand new outboard. The only thing I'd like to do is locate the fuel filter. Let's turn the engine around this way, and then and there's a line in anyway. So there it is. That's the line in. So it's just following that back. I can't see it. Maybe it's a bit dark in here, but that's the fuel filter here. So, you know, normally you would carry one of these on board because that can clog easily. But normally you can give those a blow and a bit of a blowout, and they normally are good for the rest of the trip, you know. But I need to get one of those, a very basic fuel filter. But they're looking good.